Are you tired of starting Fable Anniversary as a scrawny little weakling? Can't gain no experience? Traumatized by the way everybody treats you? You feel the fire burning in your soul?
Does it take a lot of training to look that stupid?
Everybody's laughing at you, calling you poor ass chicken chaser since you were a boy?
Chicken chaser? Do you chase chickens?
All over yourself.
Do you see?
Well, no more!
You have reached legendary status.
Come on. What is it?
Just gaze upon the magnificence of this demon man using gear that you can't even get until way later in the game, but I'm going to show you how to get it before the first quest. That's right, I'm going to go through the entire processes of turning your scrawny ass chicken chaser into a legendary demon god. We're going to be using the quickest, easiest, and best exploits to get there. It's going to be such a smooth ride for you. Going to be killing a shitload of earth trolls and guards, using arguably the two best weapons in the game. And we're going to have gold falling out of our pockets. Okay, we're going to become multimillionaires. And the experience, we're going to be able to level up everything. Except I don't have Fireball and Multi-Arrow leveled up because I was using that for the exploit, and the other spells that you see at 3, that's because you have to have max Virtuous in order to get them. I've already maxed out all the spells with the max Evil needed. But all of this is going to be yours before the very first quest, WASP Menace.
Oh, I throw myself at your feet in my humbleness. Please, Lord, you've only to say the word, and I will serve your every need. Oh, worshipfulness, sir, oh Lord.
Oh dear. You hero of the hour. Skorn's right-hand man. Whoops. Oh, whoops. 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 Skorn's right-hand man. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Whoops.
You, sir, are a great man amongst men.
Whoops.
Love or hate, these citizens will be swooned by you.
That's horrible. Nonsense.
And of course the combat. We will learn some advanced fighting techniques. I'll also be going into the guard farming spawn points, which will be the quickest and easiest way of growing out your horns and getting that max negative alignment.
Oh yes, you are the man. Get your ass through here.
So if you're ready to make this game your complete biatch, then grab a seat, get comfortable, and join me if you would like. But we're about to dive in deep, so get ready. So I'm just going to skip over your childhood traumas and assume that you didn't punch this kid in the face 10,000 times. We'll be starting this journey of learning right after the point of your training, so here.
It's time for you to leave us, lad.
Once you get to this point, you basically have to go into the green light because you're kind of stuck in the Guild of Heroes. You can see Maze is activatable, but the door is not. So we kind of have to do this, but you don't have to buy anything here. We're going to buy spells and skills later. We're going to max all that out, but I feel it's going to be easier to learn the gold exploit first, because the gold exploit and the experience exploit basically use the same method, but there's an extra step to the experience exploit. So I feel like it's going to be easier to learn the gold first. So once you've made your way over to the lovely Bowerstone, we are going to greet the lovely merchant Derek here, because he is going to have everything that we need to become a gajillionaire. Okay, multi-millionaire. Yes. 9 million to be exact. You can do this at the Heroes Guild. You can do this with any merchant, but Derek here is the closest to the start, where you start. And he also has a wedding ring. You can see he even has it displayed here in the back here. Yes, very nice. But there's something I would like to explain about Derek. I don't know if this happens to the entire world, all of the merchants, like this guy, or I don't know what's going on here. But let me just explain that 1 out of 4 of my heroes has had a Derek with 214 apples, and the rest of the 4 heroes all have a Derek with 21 apples. Yes, I don't know what's going on here, but it has been very peculiar. I've even tried waiting for his next shipment supply, but he never gets more than the amount he starts with. And just to further show, I know we just left the Heroes Guild, but let me just continue to prove this point here. This needs to be fixed. Game days past 0. So if you come here on when you first start the game and Derek has 214 apples, you are one lucky son of a bitch. Now let's hop into this gold exploit. Okay, here's all what we need to do. All right, you get 2 health potions and 1 will potion from the first quest that you completing your training, right? So we already got that set. 70 gold. I have 71 I had 1 gold from my childhood. But 70 gold is the lowest amount that you can possibly start this game with. And that's all you're going to need. Because we're just going to buy all of his 21 apples. So what we're going to do, we're going to buy his 21 apples. And then we're going to go over here. And the last thing to note about this little exploit is that you cannot do this with a controller. It has to be a keyboard and mouse, because there's no way for you to select these tabs once you have this menu open on a controller. So the exploit is simply this. You're going to select whatever you would like to sell, bring this menu up, and you're going to switch tabs, and whatever's at the top, because if I try to scroll, it's just going to continue to scroll through that. Whatever's at the top is what you're going to sell this amount of. So it's not going to do 21 plus 2, it's just going to do 21. So basically, that's the exploit. I'm going to sell, I have 2 potions, but I sold 21. And you can see my gold. And you can see his potions. Oh, it's so great. We're just going to do the same thing with the will potions. That's it. It's so easy. We're also going to sell him 1 apple. So in that way, I can come over to the will potions, buy. He only has 1 green apple that I sold to him. And I'm going to buy a maximum of 24. Creating this out of the thing. What? Yes. This is some good stuff right here. So basically, I'm not going to go through the entire process of getting to the max amount. I'm just going to show it after I explain this next part. But basically, the exploit is that you continue to grow this number, right, by buying 1 here. Continue to grow the number of his potions by doing this, right? And then you sell 1 green apple before you go back to buy. and then you buy whatever the amount of the new stack of potions that he has, right? And you do that for the green apple. So now 110. It's crazy. It's madness. So my recommendation is that you get green apples to 9,999 because that's the max. And then once you have done that, at some point, this whole process might start to slow down because the game is processing math. But once you get green apples to 9,999, then I would recommend exiting and then re-entering his shop because it should speed up the process a little bit more. It might even take a little time to get back into his shop again. But yeah, that's the process. You get your apples to 9,999, and then from there, you start to buy wedding rings, and then you just sell, 9,999 wedding rings. It's madness. Look at that, insanely fast. But when you have 9,900. And here is the process of lag that you have to deal with until you get the max amount of items that you can hold. 9,999. Thought I wouldn't say it again, but I did. Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to show that, that laggy process is just the game kind of calculating all your riches because you're becoming filthy rich. As you can see, it starts happening. But I'm going to skip this, and let's just get to the good stuff. And the blam, bloom, blam! 9999! That's what I'm talking about! It kind of still takes a little bit, because you're filthy rich, you know what I'm saying? But damn, those numbers look sexy. That's what I'm talking about. So, now that we've learned the gold exploit, let us take all of this knowledge and move it over into the experience side of things. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Alright, so now that we have as many potions as we're satisfied with, and as much gold as, we want to have at the start, we're just going to continue to the next part. So, to keep things fresh, and still in your memories, we could go and get Skorn's bow now and make this next part a little easier, but what we're going to need for the next part is 900 experience. That's the least amount that we're going to need, and we can max. If we get 900 experience, we can max everything out all the way. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So, let's go kill some bandits. Okay, so once we have gained our 900 experience, I'm not going to ask how you got your experience, but there's all sorts of ways you could have gained experience. All you need is 900 experience, and we can get started with this exploit. But there are two things that I would like to mention before we start. These two things are more so for newer players who haven't played Fable before, but for some reason in Fable Anniversary, switching between these tabs will crash again. That was literally the fastest crash I've ever gotten before. Like, no bullshit. That was all, like, legit on the first tab switch, going from strength to skill. So, that was a perfect example of your game crashing just from switching tabs. You don't even have to do any exploits at all. You don't have to do the gold exploit or nothing. Just switching between these tabs has a possibility of crashing a game, especially if you've already purchased anything in strength, skill, or will. It gives it a higher chance of crashing. So just be cautious of that in the future, because when we start to amass a very large amount of experience, we are going to want to come over to strength and skill to max out all of these. But when we are working in the willpower section, all of these tabs, switching between them will not crash a game. It's just switching between these three tabs: strength, will, and skill. Again, skill has the highest chance of crashing a game for some reason, or at least mine. Let me know if you have any experience yourself, because that would be some good information to know from anyone else. The second thing that I would like to mention, and again, more so for newer players, but when you purchase any items in any one of these tabs, you buy it, and you see how I can undo this level up? That's because I haven't left this menu. If I were to leave this menu after I've bought something and come back into the menu, this undo level up option goes away. So this option is very important for the exploit that we're going to be doing, especially Assassin's Rush. We do not want, this is going to be like our last skill that we level up to max. So it is very important in the future that you do not accidentally leave after you've purchased spells. Moving forward, a good thing to keep in your memory banks is Assassin's Rush cost 400, being the lowest costing spell. Fireball cost 500, and Force Push cost 600. And these just so happen to be neatly located on separate spell tabs, making it very exploitable. Yes. So, what we are going to do for this first purchase is, using our 900 experience, going to come over to Fireball and the attack spells, going to buy that. Then I'm going to come over to Force Push and proc the buy window for Force Push. But I'm going to switch tabs before I purchase Inflame instead of Force Push. You see, we have 620, but it cost 3,600. Now, what's going to happen is it's going to subtract 3,600 from 620, giving us a negative number as such. And if we then sell back the cheapest spell that we bought, which in this case is Fireball for 500, it's somehow going to get rid of this negative number, putting us back at 0. And once we go up to Inflame and undo this level up, we are going to gain 3,600. So from 900 experience, we just went up to 3,600. Now, after we do that the first time, we can come over to Assassin's Rush, being the lowest costing spell, buy that once, come over to Magic Power, because we want to get this to level 7. And it's once we get this to level 7, we will have the most optimal way of exploiting this experience gain. Oh yes, it is so nice. So we'll buy as many as we can, only 2 level ups there. And we can see that Magic Power is only to get to level 3, it's 2,800, so it's not more expensive than Inflame. So we'll still use Inflame currently. Alright, let's just get rid of some experience here. We'll use Force Push into Inflame again, yes. Come back over to Assassin's Rush, and from this point on, we will always use Assassin's Rush as our first buy, or just a purchase before we go into negative, and we will sell it as our first undo level up. Yes, if that makes sense, I hope it does. So we'll get back to 0, come back over to attack spells, and undo all of these level ups, giving us an increasing experience pool that we love to see, yes. And the other way of telling that you can continue this exploit once again, you can continue a new round once again, is you check each spell tab and make sure that nothing is leveled up past level 1. Of course, we all start with lightning, so we don't have to worry about that. But we are going to continue to level up magic power. And we can see we're at level 4 right now, so we can actually use this as our final purchase from now on. So, 1,000 points left. Let's go to Fireball and Battle Charge. We'll proc the buy for that. Go over to the Magic Power tab and purchase Magic Power, giving us a larger negative number. Every time we get a larger negative number, we are adding more to our experience pool gradually. It is a very beautiful sight, yes. And if we just work in attack spells, all we have to do is come over to the attack spell tab and undo all of these in here. It makes it nice and tidy, really fast and mighty. Baby, we like to see this. Okay. Baby, that's crazy. Just a few minutes and you're already reaching heights beyond your wildest imaginations. Yes. Ooh, it's looking mighty, mighty fine right now. We'll get 1,000 right here with multi-arrow. Into a large negative number. Yes. You get those numbers and you're gravy. You're gravy, baby. You just gotta get those negative numbers and everything's good. So, there's something that I want to note here with multi-strike. I don't know if you've noticed it, but let's see if I can get it to proc. And I believe we just so happen to have enough for the max amount of magic power. We do not want to max this out because if we level this up to level 8, it'll be max and this number will disappear. So we want to leave this at level 7, and once we leave it at level 7, we can just continue to use this number. 54,000. Yes, I like it. So we'll let's grab multi-arrow and then fireball. That is the number we are looking for. 53,000 is a beautiful gaining number every single time. So, this is the most efficient way of doing this exploit here. Multi-strike, you see? I did not buy multi-strike, but I had bought fireball. It did not level up fireball, it leveled up multi-strike. Now, I'm going to level up as much as I can. I'm going to gain a whole bunch of experience off screen, and we're also going to get into leveling these as well, strength and skill. But I do want to see if I can get footage of multi-strike being maxed out and me undoing it and nothing happening. And we'll talk about that in just a second. So let me get back to you here shortly. So yeah, that's usually what I do, is just get an amount like that. Okay, so this is actually might be kind of perfect right now. See if I... Yeah, let me see if I can do this real quick. Can actually do that again. Interesting, okay. Very interesting. Oh, wow. This is super interesting. Okay, I can just... This is really cool. Okay. This is like the quickest way of doing it. Yeah, this is really interesting. This is actually going to give me a lot. I can already tell. So this is I think this is going to be a good example. I really do think this is going to be a really good example. And once I start undoing multi-strike, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So actually, let's just do that right now. Since I've done it a couple times, I know it should be working. So, make sure that we have everything in our categories taken out. And we'll do multi-strike last, just to really send this point home. Lightning we already start with. Okay, so when I undo this, nothing should happen to this max right here. Boom, look at that. And I will actually just click it just to show, because I'm actually using my mouse forward and back key as this button right here. So my forward key is this. So that's how I'm actually selecting stuff. But anyways, so I'm going to click it. Nothing happened again, but watch my experience. 24-6, 24-6, 397. The hell? What the hell is that? I've never seen that before. Dominate Club? Orcus. What the hell is going on? But you can see my numbers are going up, and you can see that nothing's happening here. Production assistant for Fable TLC. What is going on? Meet the guildmaster near the melee ring to begin your graduation. This is insane. Damn, you beat me again. Yeah. You have mastered multi-strike. I think I have mastered multi-strike. But by this point, the spell imbues the user's blade with the ability to strike 5 times with a single blow. Combine the other spells. This was my point, I think, was proven. And we're finally down to leveling it, to unleveling it all the way. So, that is the exploit in its ultimate form. You basically You get all of your experience. Okay, so actually let's just go to the next step. This will be the next step of the ultimate form. But because I don't want to crash my game with all this experience, I'm going to exit out after I double check that I do not have any spells leveled up in any of my categories. Level 7 is perfect, so I'm going to exit out of here. And what I'm going to do to just save everything like 100% save is you leave the Heroes Guild and you get a checkpoint for leaving. So that will indefinitely save any stats that you do, which we're about to do for strength and skill. But furthermore, it will just indefinitely save, the experience gain that you have. But let's just show exactly what I was just talking about. So let's start in physique here, and we'll just buy everything. And all we have to do is make sure that we have 1,000 gold left over, and we should be just fine, baby. Just fine. Do I have enough to completely max out strength? That would be amazing. And I do have enough to max out strength. That's incredible. I didn't get a crash. That's also incredible. Let's keep going. How far can we take this? Damn, we can take it pretty far. Damn, we just took it all the way pretty far. Like that's maxed out strength and skill. Please don't crash. Oh, my game did crash once again, which was kind of I I I knew it was coming, but it's actually a good thing because, well, for one, I have the checkpoint saved, so that's all gravy, baby. But I actually kind of wanted to show how it would look with each category maxed out and the other one not maxed out. So um, let's do strength first. Damn, look at this Chad right here. Going to the gym every day. Just like fucking beefing, dude. Look at this guy. Alright, I'm actually going to get a new save. Or not a new save. I'm going to load my checkpoint and let's see how max skill looks. Dang! Look at this lengthy toothpick. That's cool. That's part of why I love this game, because if you really want to, you can make your character look however you want. You can get fat too. You just gotta eat a lot. But the more you fight with like swords and stuff, you'll lose weight. But that's why I love this game, because like there's creativity in your character build in a very unique way that no other game really has ever done before, or try to replicate, for that matter. So that's dope. All right, well, let's I'm gonna leave, get a checkpoint, and let's level up strength all the way so we can get super ripped. Dang. You don't want to mess with this dude. He is stacked. This guy's definitely been eating his broccoli. Hell yeah. That's what's up. Super dope. Super dope exploit. Super fast. It's not even nighttime yet. We're still on day 0. So let's leave, get another checkpoint. And bam! Diggity dope! So, this is the before and we shall get to the after when we go and level up all of the will section. This is going to be pretty sweet. So, gotta spend some time, but I already have the footage, so we're just going to skip into the future, baby. Let's go! I can buy Fireball, so I buy Fireball, go to Magic Power, blammy, damn it, fucking shit! Just a couple minutes, we end up with this number. That's insane. 900 to 100,000 in a couple minutes. Baby, that's crazy. Here's the before. With all of the maxed strength and skill. And to max the will, we're basically going to need 1,100,000. It's a lot, but that's basically the number that we're going to want to fully max all of the stats out. All right, we are here. Look at this bod. The magical energy is just flowing through our veins. You can just see it. Avatar body everywhere. It's beautiful. Magical tattoos that just come out of nowhere. We're gonna go down this list here, and you can see everything got maxed out. Except for the spells that you need either max negative or positive alignment. So, but that's chill because, you know, we still got to play the game and figure out which direction you're going to end up going. We can see here that we're super unattractive and pretty scary. We've aged quite a bit just from the magic, and no days have passed. So we're looking pretty, if you know what I'm saying. All of this is before the very first quest, and we're going to get to the other quest here in a little bit. But first off, let's talk about what we're going to be doing next. We are
Mind you don't trip.
we're gonna to head over.
Looks such an idiot. Is he any idea? Aw, chicken chaser. Look at the chickens run.
Is this chick serious? She's trying to catch these hands?
Mind don't. What on earth do you think you're doing?
And it all went downhill from there. I can hear the weapon calling to me. Yes, we've arrived at Oakville. Place that is the birth of our childhood traumas. So once we get to Oakville, we can teleport to Barrowfield, run back into Darkwood, because we need to go to the Chapel of Skorn and grab the recall point for our teleporter. And that's because we don't want to run through that pathway with our bodyguard, because he can attack everything like a dumbass and lose his health. And if he doesn't have full health, then it's going to mess things up. So once we're here in the Chapel of Skorn, we'll teleport back to Oakville and run down to the beach where the ghost is, because there in this cabin, there's a bed that we can use for free. I mean, we're a millionaire, so we can go buy a house, but this bed's closer to the bodyguard, so that actually makes this the most optimized bed for doing this. The way game days work in Fable is when you sleep in a bed, it passes half a day. And at the top right of your map, you'll see a compass, and whenever the line is in the halfway marker, you're basically passing on to a next game day. So what we need to do for this to work, getting Skorn's bow, is we need to be on game day 6 or any multiple of 6, your game day, and we have to be at midnight, so it's turning over into Sunday.
Shiver me timbers.
We're also going to need to be using a bodyguard for a sacrifice, rather than just any old follower.
Hey, hero, can you help me out?
And I have found that this guy up here is the perfect sacrifice because of how virtuous he is.
Good day, hero. If you need someone to fight evil by your side, I'm your man. Excellent. There is true honor in work. When you're done with my services, just talk to me again. Right behind you.
Now, using this method, I've done this like 7 or 8 times in Anniversary and in Lost Chapters. Your alignment just has to be at 0 or above. You just don't have any negative alignment if you want to do this 100% first try every time. I've done it with -1 alignment, but just if you really want to do it, first try every single time, have no negative alignment, and that's basically it.
To the Chapel of Skorn. Those who worship here are filled with the poison of pure evil. Will you donate to my cause?
We can't stand here all day. There are people to be rescued.
Alrighty, so let's put up a final list of everything that we are going to need for this sacrifice, getting Skorn's bow. We are going to need a bodyguard, which means a follower that we pay for services of protection. This bodyguard needs to be at full health when he is sacrificed. We have to be sacrificing on a Saturday, which means day 6. This sacrifice has to be right before midnight, so going into day 7 or Sunday. If you do not know your game day and you've been playing already, it's just any multiple of 6. And the last thing that we are going to need is 0 or positive alignment. You can try it with -1, but it is always best to just do it with 0 alignment. So, with all that being said, on your first try, every single try, you should get a clean, successful sacrifice. Now, if you followed along from this point and you've teleported here, there should have been already 1 payment towards the bodyguard, and the second one is about to show up. Once you see that payment go through, you can activate the sacrifice. I usually skip all the cutscenes. I don't watch them because time still is proceeding. And if he says this dialogue,
"Your desire for my evil influence is gratifying. You will go far,"
then that means you received Skorn's bow, baby. To this day, Skorn's bow has still got to be one of my favorite weapon models. And When I was a kid, getting this weapon as early as I could was always kind of a mystery to me. So now I am kind of really hyped to display this information in a way that I think is easy to grasp. So if you are having troubles, let me know down in the comments what your issues are and what might be happening. Let me know the day count, But as long as you follow these steps, you do a multiple of 6, make sure you're on a Saturday, everything should be just fine. I've also done this in Fable Lost Chapters, and it works exactly the same. So if you're playing Fable Anniversary or Lost Chapters, it doesn't matter. You're still gonna have the same factors applying to both games. So now that we have achieved this magnificent bow, we are just a few simple steps away from completing this journey to godhood. We will next be obtaining a legendary weapon called the Sword of Aeons. Eons. Not sure how you say that, but it's supposedly hidden away in the Heroes Guild, not to be found by any souls. But we are no mortal beings. We must head through into the guild caves. And once we reach the Chamber of Fate with 2 spells, Summon and Assassin's Rush, both can be level 1. You do not need to level it up. But if you do level Assassin's Rush, it does help this process a little bit more. So the goal here is to summon our Wasp, lock onto him, and simply walk into him until he falls into the ground. But I seem to have gotten him on the top stair set. So if it's frustrating, just concussion slam that Wasp into the wall until you can summon a new one. Alright, so let's try again. We summon the Wasp, lock onto this Wasp, and walk into him. If you summon him and he is just kind of floating above the stair sets, you will need to try again. Yes. So get a little closer like I am here. Summon him, and if you walk into him, just like this, and he falls into the second stair set, you are free to assassin rush your face continually into that stair set. Eventually it'll work, and you'll be through. Success, baby. And do believe me, when you actually land an assassin rush glitch through, it is the most satisfying feeling ever. And looking at this weapon, having it in our inventory, is also the most satisfying feeling ever. You can't even get this weapon till the end of the game. You can't tell me that's not what you want at the very beginning of the game, if you can get it. That's talking crazy, baby. This exploit is crazy, baby. Just take a look at this. Skorn's bow. The Sword of Aeons. These legendary weapons obtained before the very first quest. This craziness is topping the charts. And you know what? I love it. I can't get enough of it. And all this can be yours by just following these simple steps. I feel like I can destroy anything that dares challenge me now. There's a whole world to explore. So, that would lead us into our next subject, which is how are we going to grow out our horns the fastest? Well, I'm going to show you how to do that. Yo, what about these extra quests hanging around the WASP nest? Can we grab those? Well, I'm going to explain that too. We're going to hop into that. All of that in the next chapter. So, hang on tight while we get prepared to finish this baby off. That's what I'm talking about. We have reached the final chapter, And in this section, I would like to cover 3 topics. The first, covering Renowned. The second, covering our alignment. And the third, where can we actually venture to before the WASP Menace? But within these topics, we shall be answering some other questions. Yes, some deeper, darker questions. Like the fastest guard farming spawn point locations? All these spawn point locations? These extra quests hanging around the WASP Menace? Access into the Bandit camps early? Access into Bowerstone North early? I understand these questions are burning deep within your soul, so I will get to them promptly. But first, I would like to say, if you have made it this far in my video, please understand that I am extremely grateful for your contribution of time. If you've enjoyed this experience thus far, please consider subscribing to my channel, as it's going to help this young grasshopper in this sea of content that is YouTube. Now, before we get too crazy, I'm just going to rip the Bandit off right now. You cannot get these quests. These quests are meant to serve as world building for Fable. It's meant to serve as you experiencing this world while it is living itself. That's the way Fable was actually meant to be played. And I'll explain why you can't get these quests. Because when you reach Renowned Level 2, this first group of quests disappear. And that's meant to serve as world building, as if other heroes have come into the guild and already acquired those quests. And when you finally get to Legendary Renowned,
You have reached legendary status.
this point is proven because of this cutscene. Okay, well, I can get the quest. It just is not giving it to me. Alright, let's do the WASP Menace and see. Let's see if anything happens after I do the WASP Menace. Let's see here.
Ah, now this one looks promising.
Okay.
Oh, hello. You must be the kid Maze is always talking about. Can't imagine what he sees in you. Still, I suppose Maze knows best. But where are my manners? I'm Briar Rose. No doubt you've heard of me. No time for autographs, I'm afraid. I have to get to Knothole Glade for an important mission. Speaking of which, if you came for a quest card, all the best ones have gone already. I'm sure the guild can find you something to do, though. I hear the kitchens need cleaning.
Yeah. The game has that quest for her to take. So there's no way you can get it. Damn. So that's pretty much it for the Renown talk. I just wanted to mention it really quick because once we start doing our guard farm, naturally we're going to be gaining a lot of Renown points because we're going to be killing a lot of guards. But if you just wanted to know for the hell of it where the fastest Renown farming spot would be, it would be this troll here. You just got to kill him about 275 times and you should be good. But he provides 90 renown points, while the strongest guard is going to provide 20 renown points. And this will actually just branch perfectly into our next topic, which is the guard farm. So, in barrel fields, you get a maximum of 2 guards spawned at a time. In Oakville, you'll get a maximum of 3 guards spawning at a time. And at the Heroes Guild, you'll get a maximum of 4 guards spawning at a time. Remember, this is just all the locations before the WASP Menace. I haven't tested out other locations, so yeah. But let's just start from the first and easiest location to farm guards, which is at Barrow Fields. You'll get a maximum of 2 guards spawning at a time, and The guards here will not ever upgrade. They will just stay the lowest level guard forever. So if you really want just a chill experience farming guards, and just kind of like a breezy, easy, then come to Barrow Fields and just hang out. Inside of Barrow Fields, we will find this bridge connecting the two lands. At the end of this bridge, there is a post with a small space that we can wiggle ourselves into. And for some reason, this location happens to be the perfect spot for exploiting these guard spawning points. Yes. Now there seems to be something very interesting with the camera as well. I don't know if the guard spawn points are tied to the direction of your camera and the placement of your character, but I would have to assume that they are tied to them, because when I face my camera towards Darkwood and the river, for some reason the guards seem to continuously spawn behind me, which is a perfect place for me to assassin rush behind them and just take my evil alignment points. As easy as that, baby. For those who are looking for a little bit more of a challenge, but you're not quite sure you want to go all the way hardcore, just head into Oakvale and up by your old house where you grew up as a child and you store your childhood traumas. You can punish the guards for not being there when you were a child. Like, seriously, where were they when all the bandits attacked? Where were they? So this is their punishment for not being there when we were young chaps. But yes, we shall stand up by this house and close to these pillars, and the guards will spawn very close to us. No problem at all. I didn't try too many spots in Oakvale because I started to think, I'm pretty sure I remember there being a location where guards spawned more frequently, or maybe just had more guards spawning, because we're only getting 3 in Oakvale, which leads us into the Heroes Guild, which is the place of optimal guard farming. So here in the Heroes Guild, we will find, or I have found, 3 locations for farming guards. The first that we'll discuss is here in the legendary hero graves. You can actually squeeze your way in and stand in the middle here. I found this to be the most optimized spot for training your archery. If you skipped over the experience exploit, or you just wanted to do it the raw, long way, then you could come here and farm the guards with your Skorn's bow. You could also use magic, but I found this location frequently, more than not, spawning a guard on the bridge really far away, which became rather annoying because we all know that the zoom in with the bow on Fable is not the best. Then there's another location, a fork in the road, by the bridge, archery range, and melee combat grounds. I found this to be a pretty good location because the guard spawned fairly close to you, and it was very consistent. Although, the only gripe that I would have with this location is that you wouldn't know unless you were looking at your minimap whether the guards were spawning in front or behind you. So you always had to be on your toes. Did find it rather enjoyable with lightning here though. But the most optimized spot for farming guards in Fable before the WASP Menace is by the servants' sleeping quarters. Or I guess you could consider this the kitchen as well. Outside, before you enter the quarters, there's a little crevice where you can hide in here and max out your alignment. Here, the guards will attack from one point. They will only be approaching from the front. I also found that having your camera facing the wall in this location would prevent guards from spawning far away. And even if a guard did spawn far away, it wasn't too far. They would always run to you, and there's nowhere for them to escape if you assassin rush behind them. So 4 guards ready to combat you at a time, all spawning near your location where you're standing. You don't need to even move a muscle. As well as the guards upgrading tiers to the highest tier guard, giving you max experience and renown for each annihilation. So I would say that about wraps this up. And once we've reached the max alignment that we require for ourselves to move forward, then we can talk about these hidden locations and the very last section of this video. So, after I've spent 2 hours basically rolling my face into a plank of wood, I was able to receive this footage. And to be completely honest, if it takes 2 hours, because it did take... Okay, actually, no. It took me about 5 minutes to get this footage, but then it took about 2 hours for me to finally realize I'm not going to get that footage again or have it upgrade to me actually being teleported into Bowerstone North. So then I really actually had to ask myself, is this even worth it? Is Bowerstone North really worth it before the WASP Menace? And I've come to the conclusion that it is not worth it. You should just play the game. Now let's continue to the next location, which is the Bandit camps. So this last little exploit that I got for everybody is just like the Sword of Aeon's exploit, except this requires a little bit of a thicker body. So we're going to have our wasp kill this nice bandit here and steal his soul. Alright, so this is the last exploit explanation. And it is the way to get into the bandit camp doors. The locked, tight doors. You must first summon your bandit, and then lock onto your bandit before approaching very close to the door and re-summoning your bandit again. He will go through the gate, and as soon as you summon him, you must use Assassin's Rush.
Maleficus.
Need someone to watch your back?
I am honored. Yeah! Yeah! Oh, he's gonna be good at combat. Hey! Yeah! Yeah! Hey! What is this? Yeah! Oh, yeah!
Hey.
Not for me. Yeah! Yeah! Strong, are you?
Hey!
I heard he kills villagers for fun. What a guy!
It's scary, Maleficus.
Hooray!
Anything?
Oh, so us as him. The mighty Maleficus, they say.
Oh.
Yeah! We bandits are not yeah! Yeah! Oh, yeah! A great...
Is there anything?
Trolls, don't you?
Oh. Yes, that's right. Go live in your homes. Go live in the homes that I own.
Oh.
Yeah, I used to live here.
Steady.
This used to be my house. Back in the day.
Oh, I throw myself
Back
at your
in yonder
feet in
years
my
ago.
humbleness. Please, Lord, you've only to say the
Oh,
word
the
and I will
memories.
serve your every need, oh worshipfulness, sir, oh Lord.
Your wish is my command.
All right. You won't catch me going up to him.
Just the landlord checking in, that's all.
I've heard some horrific things about him.
Is that true? Yeah, just have y'all's normal day. Don't mind me, I just here to watch you guys. Yeah, enjoy your breakfast.